David Wilson, the Business Savage. Listen, do you need to grow your network in 2021? Do you need more connections in 2021 because you need to make more sales in 2021? Because you need to make more money in 2021? Well, I have something for you. It's a free video and a free script on how to connect anyone to anyone, anywhere, for any reason, without the fear of rejection. That's right. You never feel rejected ever again, because that's the biggest hurdle that we face, that rejection. I'll show you how to never face that again. Go to www.thenorejectionconnection.com. That's www.thenorejectionconnection.com. Watch my free video and get started today.
This is William Eastman, Managing Partner for GrowthWorks Media and Station Director at IBGR. If you listen to any of our broadcasts, you know we consider all entrepreneurs part of one family. People who are the heroes of our societies because they put their soul into the game and risk failure for everybody else. We want to meet and get to know everyone, like having a family reunion. Plus, to provide the highest quality of programming, we need to hear from you. The place to start is to become a subscriber. Every week we will send you our broadcasting schedule, links to show notes, and occasionally a gift like something practical from our toolbox. It is simple to do. Go to our Join Us page, sign up, and become part of the most important global community, entrepreneurs. Never forget, we create over 50% of the jobs around the world. We look forward to meeting you.
You are listening to Women of Business Thriving on the IBGR Network. I am your host, Dr. Tracie Hines Lashley, and we're talking about problem solving. Yeah, you might say, I don't need to hear this. Yes, you do. You need to learn how to problem solve, and you also need to learn how to creatively problem solve. So, what are some questions you should ask? The key questions, they'll vary. So you won't ask the same questions for every problem. But you have the standard, the who, the when, the what, the why, the which, the how, and the where. So some specific questions that you should ask during the problem solving process. Who initially defined the problem? Why is that important? Because you want to know where their head was. What exactly stemmed? What issue happened to where they said, okay, this is a problem, and have them identify that problem, define it. And also, what is the desired end state? And what extent is it going to damage? What extent of the problem is going to cost the business certain information, certain money, certain funding, if you're looking at a business problem with finances. And also, where will the funding come from? And these are specific questions for a budgeting person. And also, the person who are solving the problem for this budget issue, are the people trained? When did the employees finish this training? And another question is, how can we ensure this problem won't happen again? And so when you're thinking about these questions, and this is a situation to where a budget analyst ended up allocating funds to the wrong area. They ended up not knowing where the money should be spent. So we have a problem, right? How are we going to fix this problem? So there are questions you need to ask to be very detailed. And also, here are 7 steps for an effective problem-solving process. You want to identify the problem like we stated before. And let's analyze this problem. You also want to describe the problem that you're having. Determine the root cause of the problem. Develop alternative solutions. Implement the solution. Measure the results. Monitor and evaluate. And sometimes we're having a problem. We have mental blocks. So during this brainstorming process, and this is when you have your team with you, you want to arrive at a solution to that problem. So some of the mental blocks that we might have are emotions. Remember we were talking about the different hats? Someone could be in their feelings and very emotional. We want to get them out of that. That could be a mental block for solving this problem. And also distractions. You want to limit them. You don't want to be in the room. I know a lot of times we'll be in a room with people and we want to bring snacks. We might have the door open, might have our cell phones out. You want to eliminate as many distractions as you can. Why is this important? You want to be productive. If you have distractions, I know for me, when I'm distracted, my mental state just like flies off somewhere else. How can that happen? Because I'm in a zone. And once you take me out of that, I have to refocus and think, oh man, I got to come back to this place. I may have been in the middle of a thought, got distracted, and I lose it. Oh, how frustrating is that one? I know we have all been there, right? And there's also a mental block of assumptions. Making an assumption there is only one correct solution is one assumption that we often make. Because as a business owner, we think our solution is it. We don't want to hear anybody else's solution. Why? Because we're making an assumption that what we say is golden. We got to get out of that roadblock. And also culture. That could be a mental block. Defines the way that we live and limits. And the limits are idea that we generate. And also communication difficulties. You hear me talk a lot about communication. Why is that? Communication is key. Let's say you're in the middle of trying to solve a problem, but you have an I personality who wants to just be chatting away and wants to take many breaks. And you're a D. You're like, look, we need to just get this done. I don't have all day. But if you don't know how to effectively communicate to that person, they could actually cause chaos in the environment, and it decreases productivity. And let's get into the how. Entrepreneurs solve problems differently. Not just that, leaders, period. Managers, supervisors, we solve them differently. So I want to identify 6 ways that we identify problems. First, we want to identify the problem first. Some people think that entrepreneur types are, as creative innovators, inventors, given a blank canvas. We want to make sure that we have the right problem that we're going to solve. We also want to stay calm. We talk about the I personality, how they're all bubbly. What if you're that I? You're that business owner. And you're just like, happy-go-lucky. And then you have this D over here who probably won't stay calm. They're like, look, we got to get this on the road. We got to just keep going, keep moving. You want to stay calm in all situations because there are going to be some people in your group who do not have the same opinion as you. They're going to let their creative juices flow while you don't have yours flowing. What's going to happen? You're going to get upset. But you need to stay mellow, stay chill, stay calm, and listen to their perspective. Another thing is, start with general and work towards specific. What is a general problem here? And so as you're digging deeper into getting a solution, you'll actually get more specific in what the problem really entailed. I can tell you many stories about me and solving problems, especially with a team. I had one particular problem where we were all in a room and things were going just great. We were all on the same page. And when we sat down, we thought about the 3 courses of action. We call them COAs. People wanted to add more. And they were just arguing and just going back and forth. And one person just said, look, let's select the top 3 COAs and that will be it. See, when you're in a room with people with different personalities, it could actually impede on your process of solving problems. And a meeting can end up not being as productive as needed. So I'm going to go back to this communication piece. You need to learn how to effectively communicate with your people or the stakeholders in that room to solve problems. Not only verbal, but also in writing. Sometimes we solve problems. We say, okay, let's come up with this process. And each person presents their information and then we'll come into a room. But if you write that, your process down, the solution to that problem, and then you come into a room where we have them all laid out, you didn't write it effectively. So as a business owner, writing out the solutions to problems, you need to make sure that it's effective across the board. Why? Because sometimes we mess up. Sometimes we actually write out a process or write a solution to a problem and it's not even going to solve anything, or it's not what we actually meant. So not only do we communicate effectively with them, it's also the other way around. We need to make sure that we're practicing what we preach when we're solving these problems. And also with delegation and disruption. We're delegating the problem-solving process. Okay, we're going to have one person be the leader. It's not always us as the owner. So we want to delegate that to a person that can run the show for that particular process. So we don't delegate it all, but delegate parts of it. And say, I want you in the room. I want you to map this process and to get us a solution that we need. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this. Be right back.